Forgiveness, the weapon hell never expected. Let me start by saying this, guys. I'm not here to rush you into any type of decision. I'm not here to minimize what's happening in your marriage or what happened in your marriage. And I'm definitely not here to say, just forgive him and just forgive her and just move on with, no, I'm not here to say that. If that was that simple, you guys would have already done something about it. So before we talk about forgiveness, I want you guys to really hear my heart. To know that I have love for you guys and I champion marriage all around this world. Your resistance to forgiveness does not mean you're bitter. It means you were hurt deeply enough that your heart learned how to protect itself. Doesn't that make sense? You don't withhold forgiveness because you're cruel. I pray pray that's not your situation. You withhold because part of you is saying, what if I do nothing? Will it happen again? What if I just let it go? So take a breath, guys. You're not broken. You're not failing. You're human. Now let's talk about forgiveness, but not the way you've heard it before. Sometimes forgiveness, guys, it feels like a weakness. Yeah. Sometimes it feels like you're losing. Sometimes it feels like someone's getting the best of you, like you're allowing them to get away with something. It feels like you're being asked to bear the costs while they walk free. But spiritually, forgiveness is one of the most violent weapons you'll ever use because anger is predictable. Bitterness is predictable. Yeah, the silent treatment, all predictable. Hell knows exactly how to navigate those things. The enemy thrives, guys, on cycles of hurt and resentment and distance and replaying and repeating. But forgiveness is the weapon hell never expected because it shuts the door the enemy enter in through, not with noise and not with yelling and not with control, but with release, guys. Yeah, by releasing. In Ephesians chapter 4, scripture says something so simple but profound. It says, in your anger, do not sin. Don't let the sun go down while you are still angry. He says, don't give the devil a foothold. Notice what the verse doesn't say. It doesn't say don't get angry. Anger is human, guys. You're not Superwoman. You're not Superman. It says don't let anger become your roommate. Because when anger overstays its welcome, it gives the enemy a foothold. A foothold is not possession, it's access, guys. Meaning the enemy doesn't need to destroy your marriage, he just needs access to your emotions. Forgiveness removes access. Ooh, wee. Yeah, forgiveness. Forgiveness is not saying it didn't hurt me. No, it's not saying they were right. It's not saying I even trust you again. And it's definitely not saying I'm ready to move on. But forgiveness is saying I'm no longer allowing this memory to control my body. I refuse to keep bleeding in places where I know I'm supposed to be healed. I choose freedom over replaying those things. Because the truth of the matter is, forgiveness doesn't heal the past, guys. It just heals the grip the past has on your present. Every time the memory replays, your body relives. It relives that moment. Heart rate changes, muscles get tight, your tone shifts, walls go up. But forgiveness breaks the loop, guys. Not emotionally, but neurologically. Look at Joseph. Y'all remember Joseph in the Bible? Betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused. Yep, lied on, even forgotten. And when he finally stands face to face with them in Genesis 50, he says something so profound. You meant it for evil, but God meant it for my good. Joseph didn't say it didn't hurt, guys. He said it just didn't define him. It may explain him, but it didn't define him. Joseph forgave not because the brothers deserved it, but because he refused to let betrayal have the final word over his future. Forgiveness didn't erase Joseph's past, it secured his destiny. Mm. Here's how forgiveness actually begins, practically. Not with your feelings, but with a decision. Even if you don't fully believe it yet, say, I choose to release this grip on this moment because it doesn't matter, but because I matter. That's the first brick of forgiveness. Brick by brick, moment by moment. Please hear me. Forgiveness doesn't make you weak, it makes you free. It doesn't excuse what happened, it ends the control over you. And when forgiveness enters a marriage, hear me, the enemy loses the key he was using to get in. Not because the marriage became perfect, no, but it became protected. This is not the end of your story.